All right, let's take a look at the more nimble and smaller time frames, since my last few videos on Cardano, Bitcoin, and Ethereum have covered more of the large time frames and the more powerful moves to be looking at and key levels of closures. So today we're going to look at the smaller time frames. Let's jump into it. Before we do, take a quick moment, smash that like button for me. So stop, drop what you're doing, hit that smash button for me. I know it only takes a quick second. And also, if you're returning to go that extra mile, give me an emoji thumbs up. Tell me LOL you suck, or tell me LOL cosa muy feo, whatever you want to do. Leave a comment in Spanish or English or Japanese or whatever you want to do. Help out that algo and help me continue producing content for you. And new viewers, my channel, what it does for you is you're watching mostly news and fundamental based crypto video shows out there on YouTube. So what mine does is, and that's only 2 of 3 points on a nice perfect triangle. Mine is the third point. My channel helps you understand what you're doing when you're clicking around with your money, because those other channels that you're watching aren't going to help you do that, particularly with altcoins. And a lot of the channels that do cover price action, it's mostly Bitcoin, and it's hard to understand what's going on. So I have a library of videos, links in the description section to show you what is going on, help you in your crypto journey. Because why use your own money to get more crypto when you can use other people's with just a little bit of strategic buying and selling? That's what this channel is about. Let's dive right into it. All right, so Cardano. I'm going to start off with the 4-hour chart, and I'm going to use the 21 EMA and the 10 EMA. And if this doesn't make sense, new viewers, go ahead and check out my how to set up a chart video in my playlist of my library videos here. So what I want to show you is this, what Cardano is doing currently. So this is, I'm going back to price back in April 2020. I'm going to focus on this area here, right? But before we do, let's go to current price action and let's take a look at what's happening. So I'm going to take off price itself, and we're just looking at these fancy lines crossing. So you had a nice run up. The yellow went below the orange, and the yellow is consolidating under the orange after a nice healthy drop, right? Okay, so let's go back to April 2020. April 2020, you had a nice run up. Yellow fell below the orange. Now the yellow fell below the orange, and now the yellow is consolidating under the orange in the exact same posturing, right? So you might think that this is crazy speculation, but just bear with me here. So let's zoom out, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to take a snippet, not of this whole move here. I'm going to take just this portion, let's say even right here, from the move where the yellow went above the orange. So I'm going to take a snippet from right here to here. Okay, get rid of this big hot dog looking area. And all I'm doing is taking this snippet. So you can see how much higher Cardano actually went, even after the yellow fell back below, right? So I'm going to, and it just kept going, right? So I'm only taking this small snippet. Just remember, so the price that you're going to see in here gets really big, really fast, even with the small snippet. So hold on to your horses, because this, I think, is about what's happening on Cardano right now. And I think it could repeat itself, but it's going to be mind-boggling to see the price at the end, okay? I'm telling you. Now, will Cardano get up to the price I'm getting ready to quote? I really don't know. However, I'm letting you know that this has happened recently before, and on a percentage fractal basis, this is what happened last time this setup happened. So take a look. So the beginning of the fractal is when, I'm going to line it up, when it was consolidating under the yellow, under the 200. So what I think could happen is we can get a squeeze of the yellow squeezing price above the orange, come back down to test the orange, ride the orange for a while, and then keep going, test the orange again, test the orange again, test this 400 or the 4-hour 200 EMA a few times along the way, and which would have the yellow bounce on that orange line similar to how it did back there, right? But let's scroll out and see how high of a price this gets you, and by what time frame. Same exact price movement, $10. And what month would that be in? Lo and behold, that's right after the new year. So right around Christmas time, right around the new year, that would put you at almost $10. If anything similar happened, that would be Cardano just after the new year, around $10 if something similar happened. Am I saying I guarantee something like that, exactly like that happens? No, it could be something a little bit more scaled down where you actually have to shrink this a little bit, shrink this in. It could move a little faster, a little, something like this. And by Christmas, this could bring price up to $5.60, something to that effect. But it's still the same case where this orange line is the 4-hour 200 EMA. Once it gets above, it just rides it like this and keeps tagging it for a nice move up past $5. And that would mean the yellow line just keeps bouncing on that orange line, similar to how it did back here when it broke above it here. And you can see this has a pretty good history, especially when you go back below it. You consolidate at the orange line, which we've already been doing. And once you break above, look, even the next move, a huge, even bigger move up until it crossed over again. So this cross is a big deal. And this isn't happening on other assets right now, like Bitcoin and Ethereum. So I would be playing the 4-hour chart on Cardano, and the 4-hour chart is what's making me, I'm in longs right now on Cardano based on this chart, and I might have this as a medium-term hold for a long based on this. So I really like what I'm seeing with Cardano. If you want to look at this on other timeframes as well, you also have a squeeze play, an EMA squeeze on the 10 and 21. So let's zoom way in here. Or it's more of a skim play. Let's call this a skim play. So where, similar to how red comes to the yellow, skims it, and gives another push, well, red comes to the yellow, just skims under it and gives it another push. So let's go back in time to about the same time frame we took that fractal. And the second push, so this is the fractal we took here, but the next move, it essentially created another skim play. The red skimmed along the yellow and created a big move up. And so on a daily basis, the daily EMA, that is what's happening right now on Cardano. It's more similar to the next push up, which was actually even bigger. So you have a 4-hour squeeze / a daily skim play happening on Cardano, right? All right, so let's look at the 2-week time frame, or let's say the weekly time frame now. And you have Cardano respecting the heck, and I've already done this on my last video, but it's respecting the heck, 5 weeks just chilling on the 10 and 21, closing weekly candles above the 10. So even on a larger standpoint basis, this is looking like it has the support it needs to really blast off. The weekly Stokes are getting ready to cross up. This is looking like Cardano could get a really powerful move, and it might not have to wait very much time to get going here. So I could easily see Cardano, over the next couple weeks, get a closure here, next week there. I could say within 3 weeks, I would say as soon as 3 weeks. So the end of October, I would say by November 1st, Cardano could be at all-time highs at about 318. That would be my guess at the earliest. Right around November 1st, $3.18, somewhere along those lines. Okay, so that'd be a pretty nice move up. On a leverage play, 37% up in 4 weeks, that's pretty good. All right, so let's go to, not XRP, what am I doing? Ethereum. So all I'm worried about on Ethereum is a bi-weekly close. If we get this bi-weekly closure above this line, which it sure as heck looks like it's going to happen, above these candles. So see how these candles here? Okay, I've already covered this in the last video, I know, but just showing you, on the basis here, what I'm looking for. Once that happens, now let's zoom. It's gonna take off. So let's take a look at the 8-hour chart. I like the 8-hour chart on Ethereum. And so similar to how you have some EMA squeezes on Cardano on the 4-hour, see how this squeezed price up? Well, as long as Ethereum price can stay above the 8-hour yellow line or the 21 EMA, I think Ethereum's just going to keep rocking up. Then you get a weekly closure above this big weekly line at 39.24, and then you're going to have a nice blast off, which could happen actually a little bit sooner than what Cardano would be breaking all-time highs. So I think this could lead, I think this a weekly closure above this line could easily lead Ethereum to all-time highs, maybe along the same time frame, November 1st or so, or working its way up around the same time frame that Cardano will. So I could see Cardano and Ethereum breaking all-time highs early November based off of this. And if you want to backtrack this type of squeeze play here, take a look. All right, so I'm not going to call it squeeze plays when you have some wishy-washy stuff and it's going like this, right? So a lot of crosses. I would just I consider that a massive consolidation area. All right. However, now that things have corrected, come back down and crossed, then I would relate that to more something like this. Comes down, the red crosses below the yellow, crosses back up, you get a nice powerful move up. All right. So that's the last time that this happened. Let's take a look. Let's go back in time. So you get a nice move up, skim play, powerful move. Comes back below, crosses above, powerful move. Here it doesn't cross, but it skims. Powerful move. Crosses below, crosses back up, powerful move. Crosses below, crosses up, powerful move. So even though, you know, you can get, let's say one, so within a 40-day time frame, you can get 4 nice powerful moves out of these, because there's a lot of volatility in these assets. So, you know, it's not to say you're not going to get your 20% correction after these squeezes and everything. However, I can let you know right now that if you just look, take off price, and you see price way down here and comes back up to the 10, you're probably going to get another move with these, with how these EMAs work, right? On the 8-hour chart, I really like the 8-hour chart on Ethereum. So what could happen, let's say most volatile case, crazy case on Ethereum here, or maybe not even craziest, but let's say we get a continued bullish move, is you have Ethereum come up, test $4,000, okay? You take price off, comes back down, you get a squeeze play red on yellow, and then you start breaking back up. And let me draw out this. Something to that effect with the yellow. So the yellow is the 8-hour 21 EMA and the red is the 8-hour 10 EMA. So what could happen here is we get a ping off of here. Price pings up here on the $4,000 line. Comes back down, has like a 15-20% correction potentially. Let's measure that out. Or a 10% correction. Let's say a 10% correction. The EMAs uncross, then recross, and then that would lead Ethereum to be on the road to break these all-time highs around 43.65. Somewhere around, let's just say something like this, and lo and behold, early to mid-November. But being well on its way to all-time highs by early November, being very shy, just shy of it. So that's kind of how I see this potentially playing out. I think you're going to get a sustained move up. It's going to have a nice correction. The EMAs will cross back up. And by early mid-November, you're breaking all-time highs of Ethereum. All right. So what's Bitcoin doing right now? Well, Bitcoin's actually just hanging out. All right. So I'm going to use the 4-hour chart. All right. Even lower time frame. And I'm just going to use one EMA, the 21. All right. So let's take a look at this. This is really fun to play with. Watch this. All right, so let's go back in time to about 10K Bitcoin, right? Take a look. Now, as I showed you in my last video, we have something, and this was my favorite fractal. I kept telling everybody, I think something like this is going to play out. All right, so just look at this. Just look at this. You had a nice move up, big move down, and then once you broke above the area of support up here, or area of resistance, you had a nice strong move up. So let's just look at this shape here. Okay, look at this shape, right? All right, now watch. Very, very, very similar stuff. Move up, comes back down, breaks above this support, big move up, right? Okay, so, and if you want, I could just lay that on top so you can see the similarities. Watch. Check this out. So Bitcoin has a pretty similar shape as what happened here recently, but it's actually going a lot faster than this. So it's just skipping this area of consolidation and coming straight up. So what's happening right now is actually even potentially more bullish than what happened in the recent past, but that's not the overall point. I want to show you this EMA. So once it broke above this line, see this? When it broke above, Just start staring at price and how it interacts with that yellow line. Just look, and look how high this has gone. So once Bitcoin had started consolidating on this 4-hour 21, it essentially stayed above it. Look at this, from about 10K. So this is technically 11K. Let's just call it 10K, all the way up to where? All the way up to 20K. This is 20K, retesting all-time highs. And look how it just stays on and above. It's this yellow line. You get one correction, come back up, but the whole time to 20K, from 10K, it stayed on its yellow line. Barely to dip below it, only have a few candle closures below. Let's take a look. So you had a couple days here, so a day and a half where it's lived below, but then it just kept riding above, riding above, riding above. See that? Bitcoin price almost doubled, staying on top of the 4-hour 21. It almost doubled, right? So what are we doing right now? Well, if I can ever get there. And here we go. So similar in that move, how in the first half of the move up, it came down to ride the yellow 21. Nice pump up, get above the range, and it's just probably going to hang out until it hits its 4-hour 21, maybe live a couple days below and keep going. So Bitcoin, if it also doubled, this could go all the way to 100K, staying right at and around its 4-hour 21 the entire time. It could easily happen, folks. I'm telling you. I'm telling you, it can happen. All right, so let's take a quick fractal of, so I'm going to align this price movement right here with how Bitcoin came to the middle of its range around, like, let's say 46K or so, and rode its yellow line. So this is, check this out. I'm going to align that with the equivalent to here, came to about the middle of its range and tagged its 21. So I'm going to align those, and let's just take it from that point up to 20K, right? So let's take a look. From here to just under 20K, bam. And now let's take a look. I'm telling you, Bitcoin can do some insanely crazy stuff. So I'm aligning those 2 points that I mentioned. And this would mean that Bitcoin can stay above and right at its 4-hour 21 EMA the entire time, hit 82K well before December, before it gets its 20% correction, and then does it all over again. Similar to how it did back there. So it's really cool how these three assets are acting totally differently on different EMAs on the lower time frames, but this gives you a more nimble outlook on, more immediate moves on how to look for things, so you're not freaking out with Bitcoin. A Bitcoin quick tumble down to 52.8, who cares? That's just retesting this prior all-time high before this bull trap happened, right? This very clear bull trap. So you could easily, and honestly, I suspect it will. I suspect Bitcoin will come back down, test about just under 53K, hit its 4-hour 21, maybe live a few candles in a day under there, ride this line for a little bit, and keep going. And that's my outlook for, that's one of my top outlooks for Bitcoin. Now, could Bitcoin absolutely take a tumble right here? Maybe, sure. But right now, there's really nothing in the charts. I don't even think there's 4-hour bearish divergence yet. Yeah, you don't even have 4-hour bearish divergence, because the highest high in price is the highest high in RSI still. So in order to get the first strike of 4-hour bearish divergence on Bitcoin, you got to make a new higher high in price while RSI makes a lower high. And that hasn't even happened. So typically, the move is not done until you get at least 3 strikes or even 4 strikes on the 4-hour. So you need 1 strike, higher high in price here, higher high in price there, higher high in price there. You usually get 3 to 4 strikes on the 4-hour chart on Bitcoin, at least 2. And we don't even have 1. So this move is probably going to come chill out, come back to this box, hit it again, maybe do a third push, and then correct a good 10%. So which would allow the daily 10 EMA at that point. So let's put on the daily 10. Which would then allow the daily 10 plenty of time to catch up for this nice correction. Then you have a nice ping of the daily 10 and then keep moving forward. So let's take a look. So now that we're on the daily, let's kind of look how Bitcoin reacted versus the daily 10 EMA during these same times. Then we'll wrap this buddy up here. Watch this. Pretty similar stuff, but it's just viewing it on a different time frame and a different line. So similar to how Bitcoin came to the middle of its range, tagged its daily 10, right? Okay, middle of this range back in September, October, all right, of 2020. Well, look what's recently happened. These EMAs kind of blind. So you stayed out in the middle of the range, hung out right next to the daily 10, had a nice pop, right? Okay, so let's take a look. Let's go back there and just see how it reacted. Got a nice pop, and it didn't actually wait. Bitcoin just went in some bullish formation up and sideways. So it didn't actually hang out. And this is what could happen with Bitcoin here coming up. It just kept going up and sideways, wicking down, wicking down, wicking down, and then finally busted out, did it again, wick down to touch its daily 10, come up, wick down, touch daily 10, try it all over again, finally close a couple days, recover a little bit, and then go on its second 50 or 100% push up from 20K to 40K. So you could also use, instead of the 4-hour 21, you can use the daily 10. But the cool thing about the 4-hour 21 EMA is you get to see more of the intricate price action within here as opposed to just looking at daily wicks. So I would personally suggest, if you're trying to catch, look at this bullish move in a nimble fashion, I would try using the 4-hour 21 EMA. So you can judge a little bit more closures and just all the chaos within the daily candles. However, if you like the daily chart, we'll just look at the daily 10. This could end up happening here. So let's say this big candle, I'm going to align with current prices recent big candle. And this is the price action that could happen that would also allow Bitcoin's 10 EMA to catch up without it really correcting that much. Big candle to big candle. And this would give you a healthy consolidation. So this exact formation would not only allow the daily 10 to catch up, but it would allow the daily 10 to propel price above this big zone of resistance. So Bitcoin doesn't even have to correct that much. It can just chop up and sideways, nice and slow, wait for the daily 10. Then once the daily 10 hits this box around 59K, then you could get your nice fat big breakout of Bitcoin, and the whole market's going to go roaring and everything is going to be amazing. And this is when, playing altcoins and stuff in my community is going to get really hot, even though it's already starting to get hot right now. Just check out one of our community coins that we stake, and we've really been following and waiting for a while. Had like a 40% run up today. It was just insane. Absolutely insanity. But going back to, and it's got like 26% staking on KuCoin right now. It's got about 53 days left of that. It's pretty good stuff. Ideology coin. Anyway, that's what I got for you. So if you're new here and you liked what you saw, go ahead and hit subscribe, hit that bell so you can stay in the know when you click around with your money and have a better statistical understanding of if you are entering a probable winning trade or not. And if you are returning and you haven't had a time to leave a comment, but you did click the thumbs up, leave me a quick comment, emoji thumbs up, just hit the letter K or whatever, or tell me a joke, and we'll see you later.